Slum.
Slum.
First, I'd like to rise and give praise to Allah, the Father of the universe. Brother, all we thought we open and close promptly according to the certain seven of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. We all rise and place you for prayer. And all those who wish to pray in our manner, repeat after me the Most American prayer with 5 on your left and 2 on your right. Slum.
Slum.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth.
Truth.
Peace.
Peace.
Freedom.
Freedom.
And justice.
And justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide.
My guide.
And my salvation.
And my salvation.
By night.
By night.
And by day.
And by day.
Through his holy prophet.
Through his holy prophet.
Through Ali.
Through Ali.
Amen.
Amen.
Now, again, I'd like to guide you to service to Allah. Father of love, true peace, freedom, and justice. I'd like to read the divine constitution and bylaws. Salvation, Allah, unity. The Moorish Science Temple of America, the divine constitution and bylaws. Act 1. The Grand Sheikh and the chairman of the Moorish Science Temple of America is empowered to make law and enforce law with the assistance of the Prophet and the grand body of the Moorish Science Temple of America. The assistant Grand Sheikh is to assist the Grand Sheikh in all affairs, if it lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and it is known before the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Act 2. All meetings ought to be open and closed properly, according to the Circle 7 and love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Friday is our holy day of rest, because only Friday the first man was formed in flesh, and only Friday the first man departed out of the flesh, and ascended unto his Father God alone. For that cause, Friday is the holy day for all Muslims all over the world. Act 3. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. No members to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister because of Allah's love. Act 4. All members must observe these holy and divine laws, and all members must obey the laws of the government, because by being a Moorish American, you are a part and partial of the government and must live the life accordingly. Act 5. This organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality. We are teaching our people their nationality in their divine creed, that they may know that they are a part and a partial of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained those who are the prophet to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Israelites, whom inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and a portion of all uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious, become a part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, Noble Ali, through the guidance of his Father God Allah. Noble Ali founder, Moorish American prayer, Allah the Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day. Through his holy prophet, Ali, amen.
Amen.
The Moorish Science of America, home office, Noble Ali, Chicago, Illinois. I'd like to also read for you and to you from the Great Meetings on Quran Questions for Moorish Americans. Questioning additional laws for the Moorish Americans by the Prophet Noble Ali. Act 1. Grand Sheikhs and governors and heads of all temples, all businesses, Each said temple must be approved by the prophet and overdraw before acting upon by any members. Let it be financed property or any line of life that will cause the members to sacrifice finance, etc., that will cause the support of any group of members. Any former officer that violates these laws is subject to be removed from his office under heavy restriction, etc., by the prophet or the grand chief. And 2, all members are to attend their ad-hoc meetings and their public meetings promptly. If a member is found standing around on their meeting period, shall be fined 50 cents on the first case, and on the second will be fined $1, which will go on your emergency fund. If a member is working, his monthly dues must be paid. And if he has money in the bank, he must subscribe for as much as he is able to the Morse Uplifting Fund, because it takes finance to uplift the nation. Act 3. It is the law for a divine duty of every good member, if he is able in finance, to aid me in saving the nation. And if he does not, he is an enemy to the cause of uplifting his own people, and justice must catch you. Let it be he or she according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, as I have the power invested in my hands, and I will have to enforce the law in order to save the nation. Act 4. All members, while making a public speech, must not use any assertion against the American flag, or speak radical against the church or any member of any organized group, because we are to teach love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Act 5. All members must promptly attend their meetings and send their children to Sunday school, and the teacher must confirm himself to the questionnaire, and let every member exercise his 5 senses who is able to do so, because out from his Sunday school comes the guidance of the nation. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality. And we are teaching our people their nationality in their divine creed, that they may know that they are a part and parcel of the said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government which they live in the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noah the prophet to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites, who inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings, become a part and a parcel of all uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become part of the uplifting of all humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant from your holy prophet will be dry leave through the guidance of his Father God Allah. I can also read from the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science of America, divided and prepared by the noble prophet, Raleigh, by the guidance of his Father God Allah, the great God of the universe, to redeem man from the sinful and fallen stage of humanity back to the highest plane of life with his Father God Allah. I'd like to first read from page 3 to declare my intentions. Dear readers, do not falsely use these lessons. They are for good, peace, and happiness for all those that love Jesus. And read from chapter 48 of the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science of America. Verse 4, Sister Secretary, and verse 5. Verse 4. Chapter 48, found on page 59. The Moorish Science Temple of America is a lawfully chartered and incorporated organization. Any subordinated temple that desires to receive a charter, the prophet has them to issue to every state throughout the United States, etc., that the world may hear and know the truth, that among the descendants of Africa there is still much wisdom to be learned in these days for the redemption of the sons of men, under love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Woo!
Islam.
Islam. Islam, boy. Playing this meeting over, I would like to first rise and give praises to Allah, Father of the universe. Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And extend honor to our prophet, the founder of the Moorish Science of America. I want to extend honor to the forerunner of the prophet, Brother Muhammad. I want to extend honor to the first appointed Supreme Grand Sheikh of the Moorish Science of America, Brother Emilio. I want to give special honor straight down the line to all those Moors who struggled and fought hard just to keep it intact. Because it was a big struggle, and it's still going on. I'd like to give honor to our present Supreme Grand Chief, Brother D. Bailey is. I want to give honor to all the members of the Supreme Council, the Grand Body, and the temple officials, the ones visiting us here. I want to give honor to all our present officials here, and I'll call them by name in a minute. I want to get to our flags. I want to get to our charter. I want to get to Friday, the holy day for our Muslims all over the world, because they all have a very important meaning to the Moors. It helps to promote this clean and pure nation that the prophet laid out. I want to give a special honor to the temple officials, Brother R. Eversley, Grand Governor, Grand Chief, and a host of other endeavors titles that helps to promote the uplifting of fallen humanity. And our Assistant Grand Chief, Brother G. Turner Hill, all divine ministers without doubt, who struggle seen a whole lot in a short time, but is holding on as the glue, hold stuff together to try to bring forth the ideas and make it practical, applicable, make it a reality, as that prophet called out about the fourth and fifth generation. I want to give honor to our security, our elite Royal Guard unit. We do have a new addition to it, and again, you know, the value of anything is how much security you place upon it. You know, if you protect it, it'll protect you. And our prophet calls out and tells us that we have to protect this movement in this nation. I'd like to give honor to our secretary, beautiful sister, who takes wonderful notes. I'd like to give honor to our treasurer. Of course, you know, the prophet says that it takes finance to lift a nation. And, you know, you got to have a man of integrity to be able to deal with Moors. You know, the Moors are strong, headstrong, stiff-necked people. And when you get to talk about finance, you go into an altogether different direction. And without doubt, last but not least, I want to give honor to the members of Temple Number 13. You know, because they have witnessed the transformation, and we have a lot of work to do. I want to give honor to all the Moors that's present here this evening. You know, especially those who made it, you know, knowing that they had other meetings to attend to. Yes. Listen, today we want to observe our charter celebration. You know, a charter is a legal document giving us the right to function unmolested. And there's a story behind it. There's a big story, and I'm quite sure someone will enlighten us about that. If not, I'll definitely come back for it. But without any further ado, I'd like to call for Brother T.G. Turner, our first speaker. Islam.
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 Islam. Islam. Praise be to Allah. His holy name. Almighty God.
Islam.
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 First and foremost, as always, having already risen in prayer, rise once again giving praise and thanksgiving to the great God of the universe. I like to take time and give praise to Allah. Sometimes we can get caught up in formalities and get caught up in rituals and customs and things of that nature, and never really stop to take the time to ask ourselves, for what reason do I give praise to Allah for? You know, the list for me is endless. You know, I was standing back there and I was reflecting my life prior to coming in the Moore Scientific America. That alone, all praises and thanksgiving be to Allah for sending us a prophet to show me the way to my true self. You know, I give honor to Allah's true and divine prophet. You know, Allah smiled upon the Asiatic head of North America in 1886 and gave birth to a prophet, one who would lead us out of that darkness that we were in at that particular time, would lead us out of mental slavery that we were suffering from at that particular time. I give honor to our prophet, who is the founder of the Moore Scientific America, who is the one who established this organization, and whom tonight we are honoring and celebrating our charter and receiving our charter. But our prophet Noble Ali was the one who established the Moore Scientific America. And he said, as our chairman was reading, that the prophet Noble Ali has a charter to issue out to every state that the world may hear and know the truth. So the significance behind us observing and receiving of our charter is great. Because with that significance comes a great responsibility, a great work that we are called to do. I give honor to the forerunner of the prophet, Brother Marcus Garvey. I give honor to the first Supreme Grand Sheikh of the Moore Scientific America. When I first came to the Moore Scientific America, there was very little said about Brother Email here. You know, it was almost as if it was a secret that he had even existed, you know, and I give honor to Brother Email here for doing the work that the Prophet Noble Ali commissioned him to do. I give honor to all Supreme Grand Sheikhs of the Moore Scientific America, all the way up to our present Supreme Grand Sheikh, Brother D. Bailey here. I give honor to all officials, to Supreme Grand Council, to all Grand Governors and Grand Sheikhs of the Moore Scientific America, all those who are doing the work of the Prophet Noble Ali. You'll hear us say a lot and talk a lot here about doing the work, because sometimes we have a tendency to get caught up in the appearance of this and how it looks and how it sounds, that not really understanding that behind how it looks and how it sounds is a great work individually that I must do and collectively that we must do together. This is about the Prophet Noble Ali was trying, you know, to lead us, and he laid the foundation for us to build a nation off of. And sometimes we tend to give lip service to that. Sometimes we fall short in doing the things that it takes to build a nation. You know, these are some of the things that we need to revisit, because we can just, you know, have a gathering or coming together. We got a child, we put it on the wall, we have that day in celebration of receiving our child, and continue to keep on doing the same thing that we've been doing. See, as I started off and I was saying that I give praise to Allah, I give praise to Allah for a reason. I give honor to my prophet for a reason. But with praises and honors comes actions. Because just to give the lip service to it is not enough. It comes actions with it. There are things that I must do. I give honor to the officials of Temple 13. As our chairman have already given honor to, I give honor to all you here tonight who have come out tonight to celebrate with us. Hopefully also to come out in the fact that this is the holy day for all Muslims all over the world. See, so you know, we don't want to get caught up on the fact that there's going to be some food and stuff. You know, see, because it's about more than that. You know, it's about the fact that this is the day of which the first man was formed in flesh. This is a day of a celebration of the possibilities of man, the possibilities of you and me. The prophet set an example for us to follow. The objective has not changed. Irregardless of what takes place in between, the objective has not changed. It's that oneness with Allah that we are striving for, to bring forth that seed of perfection that is within us, that we may be at one with our God. So we strive to create a condition right here on earth that will be conducive to us growing and unfolding into that perfection. So we come together. This is another reason that we celebrate our charter, because these are the things that we are striving to do. We have this document, but with it, there are things that we're supposed to be striving to do. And the overall objective is still the same. I want to read from the Holy Quran, the More Scientific of America, divinely prepared by noble prophet throughout Ali by the guidance of his Father God Allah, the great God of the universe, to redeem man from his sinful and fallen stage of humanity back to the highest plane of life of his Father God Allah. Like the first, as is custom, to declare my intentions that if any mistakes are made, they're not on the tongue, they're not on our prophet, and they're not on our Father God Allah. And we do that because, see, sometimes the Prophet Noble Ali emphasized to us that the sheiks and sheikhs of the More Scientific of America bear the responsibility of where the organization goes in. We can also, in what we say or do, sometimes deter the progression of the movement and where it is going at. Sometimes it's out of what we say, out of our mouths. So we have to make it clear, because those of us who have studied ourselves, we know that we are on the path towards perfection, that we still struggle with a lower self. So I'm not going to project myself as being someone that everything that I say or everything that I do is right, because that would be a lie. I am striving in this way. So I declare my intention that it's my intention to do what's right. And I strive to give all that I have to do what's right. So to declare my intentions according to page 3, I want to read, dear readers, do not falsely use these lessons. They are for good, peace, and happiness for all those that love Jesus. And I want to read from the chapter 4, tonight chapter 48, the end of time and fulfillment of the prophecy. And read from the same verse. I want to just read from verse 4, sister. The More Science Temple of America is a lawfully chartered and incorporated organization. Any subordinate temple that desires to receive a charter, the prophet has them to issue to every state throughout the United States. Verse 5, that the world may hear and know the truth that among the descendants of Africa there is still much wisdom to be learned in these days for the redemption of the sons of men under love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Islam? I'm not going to tarry long. It's been a lot, and leading up to the day. And I always, I share with the Moors that on this journey, we are taught the Holy Quran that for us not to think that we will not be tested as those before us were tested. On this path, sometimes we look for ease and tranquility all the time. But we can't grow under that condition. In chapter 1 in the Holy Quran, the More Scientific of America, the prophet teaches us that in fact struggle is ordained for us. That is only through the condition of struggle that we can unfold. He gives the analogy about a seed being deeply planted. And if you can imagine that seed being deeply planted in the earth, what it must go through in order for it to grow and unfold. So we learn from nature. Imagine being buried in the dirt and being a tiny seed that begins to start to blossom, begins to start to sprout inside the earth. The struggle that it must go through in order to come out of the dirt. And then all the struggles that it must go through, the rain, the sunshine. Sometimes people step on, sometimes a dog might come by. All kind of things that go on. For it to grow and blossom out, we look out, we see the trees and the bushes and the flowers and the plants, but sometimes reflect on what it had to go through in order for it to be in that manifest state that you see it in that we may look at it and say, that looks good, that's beautiful. Well, for man, the struggle is is the same but greater that we must go through. See, but the rewards are great. The blessing is that after going through everything that we may go through throughout the course of the day, throughout the course of the week, that we still find ourselves here on a holy day for all minds all over the world giving praise to our God. There is the blessing in that. Because there are a lot through the struggle who have lost their way. Who are now finding themselves somewhere where they can praise God. They find themselves somewhere else, doing something else. So far gone that who knows what it will take for them to get back on the path. But the prophet tells us Allah is leading on and victory is sure. But the fact of the matter is that we create the conditions by which we grow. See, once we become knowledgeable of the truth, now the prophet tells us that we are creators and we make our own conditions. See, we can no longer complain about the conditions in which we find ourselves in because we are creators of it. The prophet of Noble Trial did not establish the Moore Scientific America as an organization that would be blaming everything on somebody else. No. He told us that we are creators. He told us it's our responsibility. In fact, he told us that it was our forefathers' behavior that put us in the condition of slavery. And if we're not careful, we're not mindful, it will be our behavior that will put us back in it. In fact, if you look at our community today, a lot of the things that are going on, it is a continued behavior of our people that keep us in the conditions that we're in. And I don't separate myself from my other brothers and sisters out there. See, because if I'm not doing all that I can do to aid in the condition, then what? I'm part of the problem. There is no in-between. The prophet didn't give me an in-between. He said morals are active, not passive. See, these are all the things that spring forth from us having a child. That we have to do some things now. We're not, I like to always say the prophet didn't establish Moore Scientific America. It's not a secret organization. It's not a social club. It's a divine and national movement. You look at the word movement. And he tells us we are active, not passive. And regardless of the conditions, yes, we're going to go through some stuff. Yes, life is going to show up in all manners of ways. Whether it be death or whatever it may be. The fact of the matter is Allah is still leading on and victory is sure. See, even in coming into the knowledge of truth, sometimes we get amnesia. Some things go on in life and we'll get distracted by them. We'll allow the ethers that are going on around us with our families and friends to have an effect on us and what we know to be the truth. And we'll begin to start to engage in other kinds of behavior. But we need to come back to the truth. And the truth never changes or passes away, irregardless of what seems to be. It's very easy for us to get caught up on what seems to be. We create an image from which man can see that maybe will attract his attention, but once you attract his attention, now you have to give him substance. John took the people through a ritual. It was to attract their attention. You go through this ritual when you get baptized, but when you come out on the other side of it, you're no different than you were when you went through it. You have to work to become different. It's the same with us when we join the Moore Scientific America. We have to work to become that image that the Prophet Noble Ali gives us. We have to work to become it. And as we begin to start to live it and begin to start practicing in our life, we begin to start to see the benefit of it. We begin to start to see the blessing in it. So we strive to do it some more. And we get better with it. But we can't digress. We can't go backwards. We have to hold on to one another. See, these are all the things that we must be doing under this chart. The chart is a piece of paper. It's the principles that are behind it. That's what's important. And if we forget what the principles that are behind it, then all kinds of things will go on. All kinds of things will formulate in our minds and in our hearts. And we'll be off the path of the prophet Noble Drew Ali put us on. This is what we strive to do here. Stay on the path of the prophet Noble Drew Ali put us on. Because if I knew the right way, then there would be no need for Allah to send me a prophet. If we knew, if we all could collectively get together and formulate an idea to gain our salvation, then there would be a need for a prophet. It was evident that we didn't know the way. So I had to be humble. Sometimes I can get arrogant and think that because a few years I've been here in the prophet's movement and the more signs for America, carrying this ilm in my name, that now I know. But my actions must show that I know. The prophet didn't tell me that I could get my salvation in a vacuum somewhere by myself. Because if it was intended like that, he came to individual people. He didn't come to an individual. He came to a nation of people. He set it up in a way in which we're supposed to do it together, not alone. So we have, but for us to do it together, we have to work on being able to do it together. Because the prophet said that we bring about a mixture of spirits. Because we done been through some stuff. You know, we have suffered some things in this process here in America. So we have been through some things. We bring all kinds of things to the table, but it's okay. We're going to work it out. And we're going to get better. The prophet said, if you think your conditions can be better, join the more sign to America. But if you think you're all right, then chances are you won't be a problem in the more sign to America. Because what can the prophet give you? I have to be open for him to be able to give me something. And I had to be continuously open for me to keep receiving. Islam? All praise be to Allah. I said I really wasn't going to talk to you. Allah is God, not me. You know, so I hope I said something that will we can carry with us on to the next time we meet, and that we may get better. I leave you as I came to peace. Islam.
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 I'd like to call forth the Grand Chief of Temple number 19. Very enlightened brother. And we welcome with open arms Temple number 13. And you know, our prophet teaches us that love, true peace, freedom, justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all members, not of the individual temple, but of the more signs temple of America. Islam.
Islam.
Islam, boy. I feel like singing more, but I don't want to be presumptuous because I know there's some places they don't
Sing, Mo. Sing, Mo.
The prophet is calling.
You can't hide.
The prophet is calling.
You can't hide.
The prophet is calling, and you can't hide. No, you can't hide, Muslims. You can't hide. The truth has come.
You can't hide.
The truth has come.
You can't hide.
The truth has come, and you can't hide. No, you can't hide, Muslims.
You can't hide.
Come out of the corners.
You can't hide.
Come out of the corners.
You can't hide.
Come out of the corners, and you can't hide. No, you can't hide, Muslims. You can't hide. Islam, Lord.
Islam.
Praise Allah's goodness with songs of thanksgiving.
That's right.
Where are we at now? More Scientific of America?
That's right.
A lawfully chartered and incorporated organization. And any subordinate temple that desires a charter, the public has been issued throughout the United States, etc., that the world can hear and know the truth that among the descendants of Africa, people like me and you, there is still much wisdom to be learned in these days for the redemption of the sons of men under love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. We here with a mission statement and a purpose. Right? I didn't just come here to celebrate the charter. I came here to celebrate the brotherhood of life.
That's right.
Because all of us are bound in one. If this is a day of celebration for you, then it's a day of celebration for me.
Praise the Lord.
When a day of distress comes for you, it's a day of distress for me. Because we learned this divine lesson in the Moorish Science Temple of America that we might go back to the state of mind of our forefathers. We know of the tragic things that have happened to us as a people in this country right here. But Allah is so merciful enough to send a man from the state of North Carolina. Didn't come from Arabia. Came from the conditions that you and I had to go through and knew what they were. And was the first one that I've ever encountered that articulated quite eloquently the effects of mental slavery, of which we have right now.
That's right.
We live in 2015. And the things that were done to our ancestors generations ago, we still suffer the effects of it in this era of time right now.
That's right.
That's why we're here to propagate the faith and extend the learning and truth of the great prophet of Ali here in America, because he brought us our nationality. That's not something that we can take lightly, because everybody else, if they went into a condition of slavery, they came out knowing who they were, who their God were. If you study history like I do, you'll know that nobody in the history, of recorded history on mankind, went through the things that our forefathers went through.
That's right.
And it was devastating to the extent that when we look at people who don't have any consciousness of their nationality, and we look at the acts of European psychology that have been played on us as a people, we see a people who don't even love themselves. If you look in the mirror in the morning and you're not satisfied with what you see that God created, that you have to alter your appearance to look like somebody else, then you don't love yourself. You understand what I'm saying? And our prophet came to sell us back on ourselves, to go back to that state of mind of our forefathers, to stop thinking in terms of the individual and to start thinking in terms of the collective. Because we are much more stronger if we're in this thing together. Islam, I got to give praise to Allah for this day right here, because had I not come in the Moorish Time Temple of America, that's why I sing sometimes, because I got a lot to be thankful for.
Praise Allah.
Reflection is the business of man. Yeah, a sense of his state is his first duty. But when he reflects back over his life and remembers himself when he was a boy, he has to admit that it was in mercy that Allah even gave us the sorrow that many of us had to go through to get to this point right here. Yeah, we have to suffer trials and temptations manifold. I invite you into the Moorish Science Temple of America, not for a life of ease, but for a life of toil. But see, one thing that Jesus taught is that toil should not make a person sad. Men should be happiest when they toil, because when hope and love are in back of the toil, and all of life is filled with joy. And this is heaven, right here on earth.
That's right.
We learn to appreciate that in the Moorish Science Temple of America. We've given back the church and Christianity and their concepts. Now we ain't gave back to Christians, we still want them. We ain't gave back Jesus, we still love Jesus. We gave back the concepts that they teach, so that we can be free as a people. Huh? Yeah. And so now we're working towards freeing ourselves and freeing our people. But you know, it's a funny thing about it. I use the analogy of Harriet Tubman, because you know, before she freed people on the Underground Railroad, she had to first free herself.
That's right.
And that becomes our responsibility to free ourselves from the condition of mental slavery, so that we can show our people what our people look like when they're free from the condition of mental slavery. Yeah. We have to change the complexion of our community in terms of who runs and controls the businesses in our neighborhood.
That's right, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
See, because when you're used to working on the plantation, you ain't used to owning one. And everybody else has a better ability to make decisions that you should be making for yourself. Now, I don't teach hate, I teach love.
Right.
But I feel kind of funny if I go into a restaurant and I see brothers come from another country, and they sell me fried chicken, collard greens, and macaroni and cheese. There ain't nobody that make those things better than our women. So why ain't I buying that from Big Mama?
Right.
Instead of somebody that come from another part of the world? See, there's something wrong with that picture. Now, when some people say, I might be teaching hate, but I'm not teaching hate, I'm teaching us to have love for ourselves so that we can start doing for ourselves, because that's what coming into a collective is all about. Huh?
No.
They did a report not too long ago that say that the dollar in our community don't circulate inside our community not one time.
That's right.
That's why everybody else is rich and the communities that we live in are impoverished. Because the money is extracted as soon as we get it. We are consumers and not producers.
Right.
Huh? When we break the chains of mental slavery and we start to adapt to this science right here and bring this thing into fruition as our prophet intended for us to be, and we got to be true representatives of Noble Drew Ali, because there are a lot of misrepresentatives of our prophet. They're saying things that our prophet taught that he didn't teach.
Right.
And the funny thing about me, I don't see yet how a person that ain't even a part of the Moorish Science Temple of America can teach anybody anything about Noble Drew Ali and what he brought. And they're not even in the temple. So yeah, we got to step up. We got to be stronger. We got to be the message that we bring. We have to be successful if we're going to teach men to be successful. See, from that one lesson that Medino taught John, that if you're going to teach men how to be pure in heart, you yourself must be pure. We have to apply that lesson to everything that we're trying to teach.
Right.
We are going to be the message that we bring. Yeah. A lot of people come into the Moorish Science Temple of America, and I'm not deceived by them. They join the temple, they want to get a card, they'll pay some dues, and then you won't see them anymore. They think that they're going to find salvation just by having a little card in their pocket, because somebody said, well, we're going to work this way, but you still got to get a card from the temple. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
Yeah. As if there's salvation in that little piece of paper.
That's right.
Right? Well, I'm going to say, go ahead on and try your hand. But see, I know as you're going through life, I know what kind of challenges you're going to face.
Right.
Because I probably say there are two selves. And if you ain't in the Moorish Science Temple of America trying to learn how to conquer that lower self, it's going to keep tricking you over and over
That's
and
right.
over again.
Every time.
It offers pleasure, joy, and satisfying
That's
gain.
what it do.
And you won't wake up to the trick until you're dealing with the unrest, the misery, and the death.
That's right.
And when you get tired of getting tricked by the lower self, come on back to the Moorish Science Temple of America, because we're going to teach you how to conquer that.
That's right.
Huh? I know they want success just like me and you want success.
Right.
Huh? But as they're going through life, yeah, they're going to find that they're going to run into this barrier, and that barrier, and this closed door, and that closed door. And the funny thing about it, without this science right here, they're going to say, you know why I wasn't successful? I didn't get that grant. You know why I wasn't successful? I didn't get that job. They're going to blame everybody else but themselves. But our prophet said, beware of irresolution in the intent of the action, and beware of instability in execution.
Right.
Then you'll triumph over two great feelings of your nation. Yeah, you didn't get that job, but it was you who decided to stop trying.
Right.
We're going to all face challenges
Right.
and difficulties, but it's what we do with them, huh? The best things in the hands of a fool are turned to his destruction.
That's right.
Yeah. I know people right now that if Allah allowed them to hit the lottery the day of the night, they'd be dead next year. Because they don't have no governance over themselves.
Right.
And the money that they have would afford them the means of destruction. Huh?
That's right.
Yeah. Only reason a lot of people ain't shot at OD right now because they don't have enough money to get enough dope to do it.
Right.
We have to deal with life on life terms. And so when you look at this science that a lot of people are overlooking, this is a powerful thing that our prophet brought for us.
That's right.
The mastery of self, understanding that connection that we have to our Father God Allah. We're teaching people to seek first the kingdom of heaven,
Right.
so that all things can be added unto them.
Right.
And they're coming into the Moorish Science Temple of America with their Christian leanings, thinking that heaven is a place that has to be reached. And we're saying, hold up, it's a state of mind.
That's right.
We're changing that whole dynamic
That's right.
around, right? Because we ain't going for the sucker move no more.
That's
That
right.
we gotta suffer in this physical life and don't never have nothing.
That's
And
right.
we gotta wait till we go to another plane before we finally get our due.
Right.
Yeah. Our prophet opened our eyes to a whole lot of
That's what
stuff.
it did, Mo.
Yeah. We're celebrating today.
Islam.
Yeah. Everybody here happy?
Islam. Islam.
Because
Praise
that's what
God.
celebration is all about. If we don't have love, if we don't have happiness, if we don't have some form of contentment, if we don't have some form of unity, then we got to go back to square one. Because when we got those basic fundamental things, then we can start to work from there. That's the beautiful thing about this thing. I overlooked this lesson for a long time. that the fallen sons and daughters of the Asiatic nation of North America need to learn to love instead of hate. The prophet kept saying it over and over and over again. And I kept avoiding it and avoiding it and avoiding it. I studied the part of moral science that I wanted to study, and I left the other part that I didn't want to study on the back burner, only to come to realize that I could not make any progress whatsoever. It don't make no difference how much of the Quran you got committed to memory. It don't make no difference how well you can articulate the teachings of the Bible. If you don't have that basic fundamental thing of learning how to love instead of hate, you ain't got nothing. You ain't made no progress. Love is the only thing makes us want to get with Allah.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. There ain't no way to allow from this podium right here. Ain't no way to allow from, you know what I mean, the noise of tongue. And anybody that think that those are the indices of what the darkness think. Yeah? We can stand up here and make a lot of noise, but Allah tries the heart.
That's right.
Yeah, He tests the heart. He tests how much you love. He tests how much your commitment is to this thing. And a lot of times, we're not going to make no progress till we've been all the way to the edge. You understand what I'm saying? We'll probably say, I'm going to test you to the last inch of your life. And if you make it, you're going to be a cookie.
That's right.
How many people are willing to take that test? The few and the faithful, they're going to stay. And we got to still have mercy and still have love for those who came and left. You know how the Quran said, you know, when they were going into battle, and the Prophet Muhammad said, look, I know y'all tired and thirsty, but just take a handful of water and we're going to keep on marching. Anybody get down and drink the water, you're going to stay on here. We're going to keep on going. You know, half the force that day. But the thing of it is, the half that stayed was the one that was committed. And Allah is testing me and you every single day to see how much going to stay and have that commitment.
Right.
Islam? I'm going to read something from this Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America.
Praise
Are these my glasses?
Did it work on?
Yeah, they work. The Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, divinely prepared by the noble prophet Drew Ali, by the guiding of his father God Allah, the great God of the universe, to redeem man from his sinful and fallen state of humanity back to the highest plane of life with his father God Allah. I am a living testimony that the prophet is right.
That's right.
Yeah. I've had people to underestimate this book right here because of its size. And I can remember a brother said, you read the Holy Quran, but my Quran is 5 or 10 times bigger than this. I said, would you like to read it? There you go. Start with chapter 1. He couldn't finish chapter 1. He said, oh, I got to put this down. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because when something is strong and powerful and condensed and all of the fat is trimmed away, you know what I mean? A lot of our people are not ready for the doses of this serum right here.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So please, nobody underestimate this thing right here. Islam.
Islam. Peace and love.
Islam.
Islam.
Without any further ado, I'd like to call for a beautiful brother, my teacher. Came a long, long way. Got a long, long way to go. Grand Governor of the State of Maryland, Grand Secret Temple number 13. Divine Minister, instructor in various arts and sciences. Brother R. Everson.
Islam. Islam.
Islam.
Islam.
Praise Allah. Praise Allah. Having a visit in prayer. I'd like to continue. Praise Allah. Universal God of all.
Islam.
That God is God. That root is root from which all things came. I'd like to extend honor to the Prophet's forefather. Excuse me. I'd like to extend honor to the Prophet.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
On January 8th, 1886, in the state of North Carolina, we did found the North Science Temple in 1913. I like to stand on now to the prophets for Marcus Mosiah God,
Yes, sir.
who said, up you mighty race and accomplish what you will. What a man has done, a man can do. I like to stand on to our first supreme grand chief, appointed by the prophet Moses but we have to meet the year.
Yes, sir.
We did keep the doors open. And as the prophet told me the year, he said, I put my word in your mouth, in my law, in your hand.
Yes, sir.
And you are to tell them what to do.
Right.
And they are to obey. And he held to that till the last inch of his
Right.
life. I like to stand on to all of the leaders, as the chairman said, from that time to now. I give a special honor to Brother D. Bellier, who is the Supreme Grand Chief here,
Yes, sir.
for the work that he is trying to do, for the work that he has done. I extend honor to the officials here, starting with our Assistant Grand Governor, who is not present, Brother J. Barnes Bay, who is doing missionary work in Atlanta, Georgia right now. I extend honor to my Assistant Grand Chief, Brother G. Turner Hill, to our Chairman,
Yes,
Brother D. Eddington Hill, to our Secretary, Chief is M. Brown Bay,
Yes,
to our Treasurer, Chief A. McCullum Bay, to our Security, our Elite Royal Guard Unit, Major, Brother K. Cunningham Hill,
Praise God.
Captain, Brother C. Davis Hill, Brother R. Street Hill, in the back. It's not?
Yes, sir.
Did I get everyone?
Yes, sir.
Did I give everyone here?
No.
Now I'd like to give honor to Temple 19
Yes, sir.
and its Grand Chief, Brother J. Matthew Bays, and all of its officials and members.
Praise God.
I give a special honor to the sisters who came out tonight,
Yes, sir.
you know, to celebrate with us.
That's
See,
right.
because when there's no sisters,
Mm-hmm.
there's no true nation building going on.
So
You gotta have some sisters there.
That's right. That's right.
You understand? They bring a whole different ether to the demonstration. So you get a whole lot of brothers together,
Right.
and you got a charged situation.
Right.
You know, which means them sisters to school us down
That's
so
right.
we can work
That's
together.
That's
So I extend them a special honor.
Praise God.
I'd like to begin the tradition, Temple 13 here, by declaring my intentions according to page 3 of the Holy Quran of the Morning Science Temple of America, where it is stated, dear readers, do not falsely use these lessons. They are for good, peace, and happiness for all those that love Jesus.
Yes, sir.
Praise be to Allah.
Praise God.
I'd like to read from tonight's chapter. How you doing, Brother Champion? Pretty good. Right. Chapter 48.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Praise God.
The end of time and the fulfilling of the prophecy. Now, I did come up here again and left the glasses there. Praise the Lord. I'll read from verse 10. Come all ye exacts of America and hear the truth about your nationality and birthrights, because you are not Negroes. Learn of your forefathers, ancient and divine creed, that you will learn to love instead of hate. We are trying to uplift all humanity. Come link yourself with the families of nations. We honor all the true and divine prophets.
Praise God. Praise God.
Islam. Night is a special night. You know, special first because it's the holy day.
Right. That's right.
That's what it's special first for. You know, but to us, it's a special night. It's a night that we're honoring the blessing of our charter.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The charter there represents to us, you know, a long journey, a long struggle, and a blessing. And I always tell a story.
That's what
When we
it
came back from Chicago, and I always tell a story. We got caught in the storm. And it is only by the grace of Allah that we were able to make it back here. We seen tractor trailers turned all over the Indiana Turnpike, Ohio Turnpike, and the Pennsylvania Turnpike. We rode the storm through them all. But in riding that storm, we knew that Allah had blessed our journey.
Yes, sir.
Thus we brought our charter back.
Yes, sir.
You know, and you know, it just feels so good And I'm going to say that first. It feels good to have a child,
Praise God.
to have a building in which
Yes,
to hang a
Lord.
child.
Yes, Lord.
But it even feels even better to understand why we have that child
That's right.
and what that charter allows us to do.
That's right.
See, the charter here, this gives us the right
That's right.
to teach our people. Now, some would say, well, in this day and time, you don't need a child.
That's
You know, you can just go down and register your organization and so forth, but you don't need a child. Yeah, we need a child. See, there's something on the charter. There's some things on the
That's right.
charter that tells us what we're supposed to do. There are things that's written, and then there are images that speak to the mind. Because the images, symbols, convey a greater message.
right.
The words. See, I look up there, and I look at those symbols around there. Each of those symbols speak to a different stage in the Moorish practitioner's life. Let me say it that way. It represents a different stage.
That's right. That's right.
And as we develop along those stages until we have completed them all, then we become that perfect example.
That's right.
That model in which the prophet came for us to be our nation. See, the prophet talks about things like keep the door open and he'll drive them in. But I often say we have to ask ourselves, how is the prophet going to drive them in since he's no longer in the flesh? See, it is through us.
That's right.
See, when the public see us, they're supposed to see the prophet.
That's right.
They're supposed to see the prophet's work manifested in us. If they don't see the prophet's work, they have no image of the prophet.
Right.
They don't know. You know, and we know this to be true because all you have to do is look around
That's
the
right.
country
That's
and all the people that say they follow the prophet and going in all different directions. See, that means somewhere along the line there's some fog or some confusion or something on their glasses where they can't see it. See, but some things have to happen. See, the prophet said we need to learn to love, and that's
Right.
the key. That's what's said. See, once you create that atmosphere, and I repeatedly say this, once you create that atmosphere of love, now you can begin to unfold into some other things. Because when love is not on the board, we're not going to do anything. We can be as smart as we want. We can know it from cover to cover. See, but when love ain't on board, the Lord self is active.
That's right.
See, we have to understand, like the medallions we wear around.
That's right.
You understand? We have to understand. See, if love ain't on board, then Satan is working.
That's
you
right.
know, he said it in the Quran. He said, I'll come from his left. I'll come from his right. I'll come from his front and come from his back. Why? He said, not one. Not one. See, because he's the tester of me. It's the same way with us. When we grab this, we forget about Satan coming in all in directions. We forget about that. Although some of us walk around with the story on our chest, but we forget about Satan coming. You know, it was like the Sister Grand Sheik was saying, and we seen this today. You can grab onto something.
Right.
You say you want it. But when you discover that it's a little work to it, see, now you look at it a little different. See, it's like that charter there we went and got. See, we understood that the charter is not just to hang on the wall. It means some work. But we took a step further, and I told y'all the last time we did. You see our credentials on the wall too. Now the reason why that is because we want you, the public, to hold us to what we say we
That's
are.
right. That's right.
If we say we are ministers of this faith, we want you to hold us to that.
It's
You
not.
don't want nothing more than that. See, so the credentials there. That means I have to perform a certain way. I have to understand the problems of my people because what? We are to address that. We are to help the prophet in the
That's
great
right.
program of uplifting fallen humanity.
That's right.
Now, the only way we're going to help him now, see, because there comes a period when you got to get yourself together. See, and oftentimes brothers say, you know, we go through all kind of things. We dress up, we go through all kind of rituals, you know. And I'll say it like they said in martial arts. You're the brown belt today, you got a black belt, you know, you just got your black belt. Why you think in essence that you are a black belt? You're still a brown belt. You haven't traveled in that black one yet. It's the same way when we come in here and we learn a few things and we get them up under our belt and we get a few titles. Sometimes we forget. Sometimes we get a little arrogant and then we can't get nothing done.
Right.
See, we forget that this process of study is a continuous process. See, because what? Your lower self walk with you every day.
That's right.
Every day.
That's
We
right.
can never get to the point where we'll think we're so strong that we got it locked down. See, small thing can happen, pull you right off.
That's right.
You know, you could come into a room, and I've heard more say this, you come into a room, so, man, you know, ain't nothing happening, man. Ain't nothing going on. Ain't nothing being done. Ain't nobody doing nothing. But they're the ones standing there talking.
Right.
They're in the same room.
Right.
So if you're in the room and you're talking, why aren't you doing something?
That's right.
See, you can't worry about nobody else.
That's right.
See, I know when we open these doors here, I know a whole lot of Moors.
Right.
They used to see me on the street. Oh, Mo, praise the Lord, you got a temple. Mo, I be down there. I said, we're still looking for them. They ain't got it yet. See what I'm saying? I heard people tell me they've been in the street
Right.
more, 2 or 3 years, looking for a home.
Right.
Good gracious. How could you be looking for a home? I've been here all the time. I ain't going nowhere.
That's right.
I've been here doing this.
That's right.
Doing this. The child is a testament to the work that we do. We've been doing this. So here's a home. There's another home right down there with Brother Matthew's baby. Don't say there's no home.
That's right.
There's a home we're trying to do the work of the prophet. But sometimes we come under illusion. We don't know what the prophet came for. So we start looking for other things in the temple. And that's how we begin to incorporate things in there. And begin to give the organization a bad name. And
That's
people
right.
talking about the Moors got people riding around with a piece of paper on the back of the car saying it's license plate. Now obeying the law and stuff.
Right.
See, the prophet didn't bring none of that stuff.
That's right.
He didn't bring that.
That's right.
He didn't bring no UCC or none of that other
That's right,
stuff.
Mo. That's right.
See, that's what you got to look at. Even in this day, I heard one brother, Assistant Grand Sheik, I think, was talking about. Brother, he went all into Subordinate. Like Subordinate wasn't around when the prophet was around. It was around, but he didn't say go down there.
That's right.
See, so we have to understand some things. We have to understand why he came. We have to understand what he did at that first annual convention was very important.
That's right.
See, without understanding that, you have no idea what he's doing today. None whatsoever. See, at that convention, I think it was the third night. Was it the third night, Mom? And I told this story before. He had the little young sister and the little young brother. Brother William Morris Hill Jr. and Sister Grace Barry Hill. He wrapped each in one of these flags here. He wrapped them in the flag and declared us a clean and pure nation.
Praise God.
A nation inside of a nation, if you will. You understand? What I said is very important to note that he used children.
Right.
See, it's very important to note that he used children. For they represent the innocence. Because in chapter 48, he tell you about that clean and pure nation.
Right.
I know we're looking all around somewhere else, but he's talking about the one that he established.
That's right.
It's clean and pure in the concepts that we have. It's clean and pure in the fact that our nation is built upon the concept of God.
It's not.
See, that's what makes you come in the temple and do your duty. See, if you come here and think it's just an organization, it's just a club, you're going to miss that.
Right.
You understand? But when you come into the realization that God, a perfect God, sent the prophet.
It's not.
See, and it said the prophet is a thought of Allah.
That's right.
And if God is perfect, then this is a perfect thought.
That's
that
right.
came with a perfect pattern for us.
Yes, Lord.
See, he laid down the pattern, he proved his power. He proved it on many levels. In 3 years when he was there,
That's
from
right.
the time he established, what is it, 27, when he incorporated 27, 26, by then to the time he passed.
Right.
In that short time, he harnessed political power
Right.
in Chicago that they couldn't even believe.
Right.
They began to maneuver and try all kinds of stuff to infiltrate the Moorish side of America. They said, how is it that he did that? See, they understood that when Temple number 1 had 5,000 members, Temple number 4 in Detroit, 4,000 members, that type of numbers, you understand, that creates what's called a political block. I told you about this last time. In turn, now you create an economic block, meaning that now you're able to control the economics in your community and so forth. See, we have to look at what he did back then. Then he asked, he said, you want your own man, your own governors. You understand? He even asked the Moors about their own town. See, there ain't nothing new. He talked about a Moorish town back then. You understand? See, because he was moving towards independence. There's no way that we can await and constantly be up under somebody else. We have to open our eyes. We have to see the world through our own eyes, articulate with our own mind, or examine it with our own mind and articulate it with our own mouth.
Right.
Let's say it that way. You understand? We have to be able to do that. So we have to separate some things. He said we don't want to marry into the pale skin
Right, that's right.
nations of Europe.
That's right.
We don't want to amalgamate or marry into them. That word amalgamate means mix.
Mix.
We don't want to keep mixing a whole lot of ideas and thoughts. He brought us what he wanted us to have.
That's right.
See, when you start mixing them ideas, we be all over the place.
Right.
We be looking for all kinds of things.
That's what's
You
happening.
understand? Now I remember I came in the movement a while back, and I remember we was looking for all kinds of things. We wanted to scratch and all kinds of stuff we wanted to do. Seeking our salvation, thinking it was there. You understand? You wanted to be able to quote the history from one end to the other, thinking your salvation was there.
Right.
But no. Your salvation is in embracing God, Allah. That's where your salvation is. That's what you're supposed to be moving towards, being one with Allah. And then when we start getting gray hair like myself and these boys around me, we start understanding some things. It ain't really about a whole lot of this no more. See, it's about working prayer. Working prayer. Why? Because you know the time is coming. We're going to leave this planet. We can't even believe we're going to stay here forever.
That's right.
We know we got to leave this planet. But one thing I always say, when it comes to call for you to come, I like to come with some works. I don't want to come with a whole lot of foolishness because man might play, but Allah don't play.
That's right.
You understand? Some ask, they say, oh, you Moors, Muslims. Good gracious. You understand? Sure, we're Muslims. You understand? What is a Muslim? One who submits his will to the will of Allah. And the only thing changes that if I deny Allah. Nowhere have I denied Allah. So yes to that question, because some ask, are we Muslim? Now I'm going to tell you the part that go with that question. They say, since y'all are Muslim, say, oh, y'all terrorists. No, we're not terrorists, so we can get it clear. See, because when you look in the East, you see different things going on, and what we tend to do, we try to tie all that stuff together.
Right.
See, the prophet came to make a distinction. Yes, we are all Muslim, but we are a specific type of Muslim. And like one historian said, Islam in India should have an Indian flavor.
That's right.
Islam in Arabia should have an Arabian flavor. Islam in the Moorish American nation should have a Moorish flavor. There's some things that our brothers in the East do that we may not do.
That's right.
You know, there's some things that we may not do, and to stop all out of confusion, prayer ain't one of them. See, we pray too, so we'll get that part straight. See, because sometimes we're accused of not doing all those things. See, and though it seems something small, but people listen for reasons not to come in a particular place. They say, oh, they're terrorists, I can't go in there. Oh, they don't believe in Jesus, I can't go in there. See, but that's a myth. These lessons for all those that love Jesus. That's what they for all those that love Jesus. And we understand who Jesus is, was, and will ever more be. We understand who Jesus is. We ain't confused. And I ain't mad at the Christian. I want to say that. I told y'all before, when we open these doors up, we are going to work with the community here. We have more programs going on in here than just Moorish meetings. You understand? We run a case management referral out of here too.
Right.
And we host a number of other programs here, but we try and do some other things. So we'll work with the Christian too. You understand? We have to be foolish not to.
Right.
You understand? My mother was a Christian and I loved her. What, I was going to stop loving her because I was a Moorish American and she wasn't? Come on now, let's get this right.
That's right.
See what I'm saying? If we're a lover of God, we're supposed to have some tolerance.
That's right.
You understand? And remember, as long as they call it on God, see, there's always a possible redemption and change. As long as you call it on God. You know? As long as you call it on God. The Bible is not strange to us. No duality taught from the Bible.
That's what he did.
He taught from the Holy Quran in Mecca. Taught from both of them before he even published the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America. So let's not get confused. You understand? We have to understand that. We are servants of humanity. See, our job is to come in to assist in awakening our people. We have to admit that they sleep. Many of us help to put them to sleep with some of the things we do. Many of us help to keep them asleep by the things we do.
That's right.
It's just like our families, and I asked this question more today. I said, many of us know many people. Our families know who we are and know we've been in the temple. I said, how hard it is to get somebody in the family in the temple. Yeah, ask yourself that question. They see you in there. They see you've been going. But they have made no effort to go. Why? See, there's something you ain't showing yet. See, we got to show the possibility of man. We got to show that it's real because there are so many people in society to try to make this a joke, to say it's unreal. See, the prophet said it back then, it was those type of people.
That's right.
See, so you come in here and we try to address this issue of mental slavery. We address this by using the program that the prophet had. He said it came with a divine plan of the ages that could not be changed. See, it is this plan that we bring forth to our people. And if you use that particular plan, if you use the methodology that the prophet taught us, we will be successful. He told us about economic security. We ain't just in here talking and don't understand that you got to have some economic security. See, but in order for us to have some economic security, we got to bring some skills to the floor. See, now once we got some skills on board, now we can begin to put them to work. See, but you need that atmosphere of love that I told you about. See, otherwise we ain't going to be able to balance the things. See, when we started this here, and we said we wanted to have a number of programs in here, what we started with the skills that we had. You know, to offer those skills to the community. From that, other ideas emerged, other organizations, and I give honor to the African Village and Cultural Center of Maryland, you know, because they in turn join our efforts in what we're trying to do. Matter of fact, they have meetings here too. We have NA meetings here. We have, and we're expecting now a sister to have an what's that called? Anger management or something like that. What's the name of it? Alternative violence session here. And because we understand, see, all these things deal with the issues that our people have. Somebody asked me, why y'all got NA in there? Because our people suffer from drug addiction. And the Moorish Science Temple of America has not established a drug program yet. That's why we got it. We're going to take you a step further. Our people suffer from AIDS in the community too. You know, and we're right here on this location, we're having an AIDS prevention and support group. Now, a lot of people back up off of that. But if you're in the business of uplifting and fallen humanity, you have to roll your sleeves up and address the issues that face our people. These are the issues that face our people. We can't stand back and frown our face up. Get the hands dirty. Let's roll them sleeves up and get in here and do some work. You know, we open 7 days a week to prove our point. We ain't just open 2 days. No, now, I looked at, you know, and I know temples through the years, just been open 2 days a week, but I know this here. And I can testify to this here. They ain't did nothing in the community. 2 days a week ain't going to allow you to do that. It's not going to allow you to do that. You come in one day, you have a religious service. You come in another day and have a Sunday school. What day did you do something else? See, we'll keep these doors open 7 days a week. More, you don't have to be afraid to come around here. You come around here.
That's right.
You come around here the same way our Jamaican brothers hang in this Jamaican restaurant. You understand? Now the benefit of that is this. I heard an Asiatic say, man, yeah, I know that Jamaican brothers, I don't go up there, all them jakes hang up there. So I don't go up there with a whole lot of fools. See, they don't go up there with a whole lot of fools because there's a whole lot of them up there. And what I'm saying to you, they don't come here with a whole lot of fools if they see these faces around here. Now I learned when I was in Chicago, and I told you I met that brother Ken Ubay. One thing I liked about Brother Ken Ubay, they walk around Chicago with them fezzes on, wherever they go. People speak to them and they understand. Now, you know, yeah, I believe in that. Yeah. Praise Allah. But what I'm saying to y'all is this here. We'll be up in this community the same way. See, when I tell all the Moors here, don't think you're just coming up here on Friday and Sunday and dress up. No, I want you up here with your t-shirt on, all that, your little flex shirt and everything. Right up in this neighborhood with these feathers on. See, we want to get used to wearing these feathers. See, you don't want to be shy. You know how we like our hats? That's how we have to be about this faith. You understand? Don't just come in the temple dome want to slide it on. Walk with it out there. See, we got to do that. See, because in order to influence the community to improve itself, we have to show the community something different. Our behavior must be different. Our character must be different. Our words must be different. And the prophet has given us a program. All we have to follow it. For example, something as simple as profanity. He says that profanity is not to be used in the mildest form. If we adjust to that, it'll save some of the things we say out of our mouth at the wrong time. You know? You want to stop using that. He tells us about kind words. And he tells us this here before you get to running your mouth. He says, study what is right. And speak it with discretion. That means before you open your mouth, consider what you're about to say. Look at what's going on, because sometimes you can say something that may hurt somebody. do more damage than help. You know, I was talking to my sister earlier in the week, and she had experienced a passing in her family. See you the next time, my brother. And we were talking about how to minister in a situation. And I was saying to the sister, sometimes, because oftentimes people are going through grief, we tend to transfer it to ourselves, and we be sad along with them. See, but the object of support in ministry is to be a support to them. Some things they have to go through, so sometimes we don't have to open our mouth. Just need to hear. They may want to share something. They may want to talk. They don't want to hear you say nothing right now. They just want to know that you're there. See? So, you know, you're quiet. Then sometimes you may have to say something. I know I was going through a similar situation, and though I know the story of John, at that time I couldn't hear it. I couldn't hear the story of John right then, though I know it. You understand what I'm saying? But I had a friend who came and simply sat with me. Said nothing. Just sat with me. And I felt better, and then I began to talk. I began to open up. Now the ministry can begin. See, as I open up, now you can begin to talk and walk with me. And I just want to say that because all of us will have issues in our lives or people passing. And we'll always wonder, what should I say? Sometimes if somebody calls, you might say, oh, I wish they hadn't called me. See, but I'm saying that the prophet tells us how to approach it. First with love. Love is the key. See that love in your heart? See, the love in your heart for life will enable you to address the question of death with clarity. See, we're out loud at. See, but we have to just understand that love part. We have to understand that love part. That is what has held us up for so long. That's why we can find ourselves angry with one another and don't know why. Oh, I don't like this sister over here. You know, she talked too fast. See, where's the love? See, that voice that she got, God gave her that, not you. Why can't she use it? Why you got to be upset because the pitch is a little too high? See, maybe if we focus on what God gives each one of us, then we can get some things done. See, it's about you and your relationship with Allah. That's what this is really about. You and your relationship with Allah. See, I know this, I'm saying it like I started that gray hair. See, surely the day is coming. Surely the day is coming for each of us. We never know along the way who we may have, who we may meet along the way. We never know along the way who we may have to help. But in any case, let us stand that hand out. Let us be able to help along the way. See, because on that last day, the record is read. And read back to you what you have done. I'd rather have on my record that I tried to help along the way, as opposed to being a contributor to the negative things in life. See, I say this, and many people say it. What I was yesterday, I ain't today. See, I said that one time before, as we was coming up. See, but many trials and tribulations have come in my life, which make me see this different now. I see people that see me and they knew me 10, 20 years ago, and that's who they see. See, they don't see a change or transformation, not yet. They only have to be around for a minute. You ain't got to be around long to know that I ain't what I was just yesterday. And because I'm not what I was yesterday, I'm able to have all these people around me. See, because if I was arrogant like I was yesterday, if I act like I do everything like I did yesterday, would nobody be around me? See, I had to learn that I had to humble myself because Allah gave me a little portion in this plan. He gave everybody else a portion in this plan too.
That's right.
See, and like the brother said in the beginning, you can't do it in a vacuum. You can't work it in a corner.
Right.
It wasn't given that way. It was given so that we could work collectively
That's
together to bring this about,
That's
to
right.
bring the beauty that's in us
That's
out.
right.
See, we had to work together to do that. And we work together by doing what? We pack this information into
That's right,
each other.
Chief.
We constantly work with each other.
That's right.
The word education itself,
That's right.
you understand, means to pack information in and draw talents out. So what we do, we pack this information in that the prophet gave us, and we draw the divine talents out that Allah placed within us. That's what we do, and that's what this is about. So we come in this week,
Islam.
we come together like we are here tonight. We celebrate this moment
Praise
because there's much work ahead of us. We're only taking a moment to celebrate. That's all.
That's right.
Because our people are suffering. And they've been crying out to us for a long time. Many of us been sitting on the side of the road, you know, playing games for a while. You know, game time over.
Right.
Our people are suffering. There's no use of talking about the police beating our people up or this going through with our people. You understand, like the police ain't a part of the community. Let me say that. Because oftentimes we take that stand. See, if they beat our youth up, it's simply because they haven't been educated any better. They suffering from mental slavery too. You understand? You remember the guy that used to live down the street with you? The one you used to bully all the time? You understand? Well, he done grew up now. He's the police. And he remember your attitude. So when he go out half the time, when he's scared to death because that's how you had it when he was young. You don't even remember you was a part of this. You don't know the part of the role you played in. You know, I'm talking about the Asiatic now. I ain't talking about the European that beat us up. See, that's another type. Yeah, he suffered from mental slavery too. You understand? Yeah, he suffered from a degree of mental slavery. See, he's so scared. That's why he beat us up.
Right.
They scared to death. You understand? But when they see the light of our law shining in us, they see a new light walking in the land, they ain't going to beat us up because they ain't going to know what to do.
Right.
They're going to say, good gracious, where did they come from? Who do they know? You understand? A light going to be around us like the light was around the tomb of Jesus when the white-clad soldiers came. You understand? Because a transformation is going on in our lives. As we walk, there's a transformation going on. As we talk, there's a transformation going on. I'm going to close on this here. Brother Cunningham Mills said one time when he was speaking here, he said when he walk in the room, a light come in the room.
Right.
And that's how it should be.
That's right.
When we grasp this and we place this in our heart, when we walk through the community, there should be a light around us. People should know that a student of the prophet know what Ali is coming. Not just because we have our fairs on. Not just because we sounded like the prophet. You understand? Because we live in our life like the prophet. See, that's what it's about. Living your life like the prophet lived his life. See, live your life like the prophet lived, and you'll walk those bad habits. You'll walk those past bad dudes right into the ground.
Right.
See, just live the life as the prophet say live.
It's not, see.
I'm gonna get ready. I'm gonna, you know, the chairman looking at me. So I'm gonna get ready to bring this here to a close, you know. And I know we have some, you know, some food we will partake in. Praise Allah for that. And it's always good to be able to fellowship and communicate with one another. You know, and I'm just gonna say this again. You want to read that, sir?
Yes, sir. That's what I was looking for.
I'm just gonna say this again. You know, I told this story too. You know, I told you they was in the temple, about 4 or 5 of them up in there. They was up in there talking about how dedicated they were to the prophet. I told you this. Remember? They were dedicated. And something said, boom, boom on the door. Boom, 4 people came and they had masks on. I told you they had masks on. Shooting all up in the air, making all kind of noise. And they broke out of the temple except for a couple of them. So the brothers that had masks on, they pulled their masks off and looked at the other 2 brothers. He said, well, now that we got rid of all the hypocrites, we can start to be. See, it's important to understand that. See, because you can't get nothing accomplished when you got people setting up among you that's bluffing.
Right.
You know, we got to shake the sifter. In here, we shake the
That's
sifter.
right. Shake it.
You know, because the prophets shake the sifter. See, and what you got left is what you work with. See, those that ain't right gonna fall through. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm gonna fall along. All right? January 1929. Let me say this here first. Sister chairman gave me this, so I want to acknowledge the reading of the letters that's usually read in the temple, you know. I'm assuming that I'm past time, so that's why I did that. I want you to know that there are several letters that we're supposed to read that we're just going to acknowledge this time. I'm going straight to the one in January 1929, probably one of all models of governments, order read proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards in your opinion. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We are for love, truth, peace, and freedom. And when these principles are violated, justice then must take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings towards the temple or the prophet, or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement, will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card, buttons, cease wearing their turban or fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet, noble to Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out a divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet to the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sins by order, prophet, noble to Ali. Islam.
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 If anyone wishes to join this temple, please see the secretary at the end of the meeting. Now we have our collections and actually, if there are any announcements, I want to announce it to the grand today. Islam. Do any officials have any announcements? General membership? Islam. Islam.
Sister Graham Bay, I want to express the greetings that Governor Graham Bay has sent to Temple number 13. He's working with some other temples in the region, and so he did come tonight. He sent me as a representative of his office, but he wants to congratulate you on your receipt of the charter, and also wanted to let you know, which you may already know, we're having open house at Temple number 19 tomorrow evening, and we invite you out. It should begin at 6 p.m. Tomorrow evening.
Say it again, so last call. But now, I have the husband called you, I have number one,
Open house
Okay,
at
open
Temple
house.
number 19 at 6 p.m. So we're having some guests from out of state, New York, New Jersey as well. So we'd love for all of you to come out and congregate with us.
Islam.
Oh, it's Secretary Silk, Temple 19. I have some bags of Mexican nuts for donation 7 kids.
Islam. Bring it on, sis.
Any temple officials, Temple 13, have any now?
Says that,
Okay. Oh, yeah, we still have the grand opening DVD from the grand opening that we had here. We still have that available. I think they are $7 also. For those that need literature, we have all of the required Moorish literature as well as additional literature, for those who need something, you just check with us, either the secretary or the treasurer. Yeah, that's it, sir.
Thank you.
It's not, Brother Chairman. Just to reiterate, what Sister Granby was saying, you know, in our open house is just informal. More just coming together, socialize, you know, to build on that bond that we have, right? That's why it's important for us to take these opportunities right now. Because when the work comes, we already have the bond and everything. Right. So, you don't, I know a lot of people work on the weekends. Stop by, just get some food, you know, say Islam, you know, love your brother and sister.
6 o'clock.
That's on,
Yeah.
what time announced for that?
6
I
o'clock.
heard 6 o'clock.
5, that's all right.
Islam, how you feel, Lord? Good, praise the Lord. More time? Huh? We had some spiritual food, now we get some physical food. Yes, sir.
I just confirmed, we got some. No, ma'am. Say that again. She wanted to know.
She gave me this.
She wanted to know that we wanted to open the DVD.
I heard it was DVD.
Islam.
First and foremost, I rise in this church, sacred light, I'm on side, taking praise to Allah. I stand on this is prophet, I'm the driveway, I stand on to the forerunner of the prophet. I stand on to everything that changed stand on to. We were able to collect $65, I like thank everyone for their contributions.
Praise Allah.
Praise the Lord.
Islam.
And with that, more, like the Lord and me.
This is what I probably like.
Islam, Lord.
Islam.
All means are to open, close, prompt, according to the circumstance of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. We're all right. All right, on the face week. There's 5 on the left, 2 on the right, and Sister M. Brown, baby, she's going to recite the prophet's prayer first. Then I'll come with the Moorish American prayer. Islam.
First, I would like to give my perfect praise to a perfect God. I give honor to Prophet Noble Ali and to the forerunner. I give honor to the first prayer grand sheep and the presence of prayer grand sheep. I give honor to everything that's more. I give honor to each and every one of you. Allah, bind our hearts and minds back to our hatred for the Father's divine creed and principle. This we ask in thy holy name and the seventh glory. Amen.
Amen. Moorish American prayer. Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, Father,
done.